Jesus said, your problem is a heart problem.
This one for anybody on the scope. This one for anybody losing hope. Pray for your enemies, keep them close. Pray for your enemies, keep them close. God finna prepare the table. God finna prepare the table.
You've done. We just pray for protection as we are recording today on site, on location. We just pray for everybody listening that they are here for a purpose and they feel your love. We just pray over my future and all of their futures. And we just thank you so much for being a loving father and just being there for us and caring so deeply about us. And we just walk in your grace and your faithfulness. In your name, amen. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Me with Cash. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll notice that we are recording on site, on location, in the heart of Springfield. I just really wanted to be outside. The weather has been gorgeous. It has been so rainy in Wisconsin and Springfield, and so obviously it is getting to be more of the evening vibe, so just pray for prayer and protection. But I have no notes. I do feel like this might be a quicker episode. We're just letting God cook. That's what we're doing. So the title of this episode is going to be Crazy Bold Faith. I had recorded previously a solo pod right before camp, and I meant to release it. Things got crazy busy breaking up with validation, which I probably will release it still. But just to recap on that, if I don't get to release it, what you need to know about that is I actually went through an experience with some crazy spiritual warfare. Which the enemy was trying to use a certain male, and it was this whole thing. But God just plucked me right out at a moment, because like being tempted isn't a sin, right? Dealing with something that's hard for you, like some people struggle with alcohol, some people struggle with drugs, some people struggle with physical touch, like whatever the thing is in your life that is a struggle where you're clinging to God on. I know I've been pretty open about some things that I have faced, and especially like healing in relationships, and like what does a godly Christian relationship look like, what does slowness in God look like, and holiness and purity and that kind of thing. And so of course the enemy is going to try to cook there. Like, why wouldn't he, right? And yeah, occasionally I'll probably like look around, make sure, check my surroundings. So like, why wouldn't he? But ultimately, God is so good, and in moments too, like even in the moment where I felt temptation and like feeling so stuck, God plucked me out. And there were so many people in the Bible, like even though my situation was minuscule, like you look at Job, you know, God knew his faith and his heart, and so he went through tons of temptation and never denied God. And so I think there's a lot of people that you got to be open about their journeys and the hard things and the good things, because as Christians you're going to face things, right? And what does it mean to cling on to God? What does it mean to hold on? What does it mean to surrender? I think we used to always use that phrase, like, God doesn't give you things you can't handle. I'm like, I'm go through things all the time I can't handle. That's why I need to trust in God. Like, that's why, like, when I'm weak, he's strong, right? I can't handle anything. Yeah. Anyways, so starting off with Fusion Bible Camp. As many of you guys know, I do camp recaps every year. But Fusion is where I really encountered God when I was in middle school, and it's meant so many things to me. If you knew me in high school, you knew I was a pretty big spiritual leader and would speak on stage and, okay, King, would do all kinds of things. And so I've been through a lot of different journeys, and it kind of like getting redeemed by God has been just a beautiful thing and a beautiful process. And I think one thing that I'm always reminded of, like when I'm worshiping and crying out, is how far I've come and how different I look. And just those moments of like the world tries to sell you this lie of, it's so fun over here, like come party over here, like this, be nonchalant about physical touch, be nonchalant about relationships. And when you like get a taste of it, you're just sold a lie. Like that's really what it is, you're sold a lie, because when I tasted, I was empty. Like I was never filled. I think it's one of those things, right? Like, is it Lay's potato chips? Like they sell you this formula, right? When you're eating potato chips that like you crave more. You're never actually full or something like that. I don't know if that's even accurate, but that's kind of how it feels like. It's like you're sold this lie, and like in the moment, the first bite can be fun, right? But then once you do more, you're like, wow, this actually is not it. This is not sustainable. This is not protein. These are just things that are good for now. Okay, and obviously we're going to hear a lot of outdoor creatures and sounds because, again, we are in the heart of downtown. Yeah, okay. everything looks good so far. But yeah, so many blessings. So the past couple years, I've had the opportunity to go back to church camp. And the first time I went back to church camp, with I think it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was really nervous. I know I had kind of come out of a party culture, but I was really nervous. And I was nervous people were going to shame me. People were going to look at me. And everyone opened me with welcome arms, and everyone was really kind to me, and I was able to serve others, but also encounter God for myself at the same time. And that's when God's like, Morgan, you were going to live a purpose-filled life. You were going to live your life for me. And I just was in the presence of God, and it just struck me, right? And so just so beautiful, so amazing. So every year I'm like, I have to go back. I can't live my life without going to Fusion. This is such a beautiful thing, seeing all my, childhood camp friends that we really have just been able to cultivate a friendship that's longer than just camp. A lot of us went to Upper Room this year together, which was so amazing. And now they're doing a young adult, which you guys should all totally go. They're doing a young adult, and so I feel like God's really telling us, y'all are friends for life. Y'all are friends that are not just once a year friends. Y'all gotta keep locked in, which is super cool. And so anyways, camp this year, I was ready to go. Things were a little bit different because I had previously always been a counselor. And so our church in Green Bay wasn't going to camp this year. And I was like, well, I definitely want to be there. I just always feel so called to pour out, but also I just love being there, and I love serving, and I love just being in that environment, right? And so before camp, I had really prayed, and shout out to John and Bree and everyone for letting me to have the opportunity to be a part of the sports team. All the leadership, everyone. I was so blessed to be able to be a part of that. And I was really praying, okay, God, what do you want this to look like for me this year? Who do you want me to reach to? Who do you want me to be kind with? Sorry, just doing the friendly check-in. And I felt the Lord kind of tell me, you're not going to lead this year. You are going to be hyper-focused on deepening relationships and abiding in me, and it's going to look different for you this year, and it's going to be great. So I'm like, okay, I will be faithful, and I'm so excited, and I don't know how this is going to look. And there, in my previous episode, which I hadn't released, I talk about how I felt like God was almost making things around me very unavailable, men I thought were, I was interested in, or this and this. Every single door was closed, every single thing felt unavailable. And even some of my friends I was really looking forward to see, even my sister, my brother that couldn't make it to camp this year, I just felt like there were things that were a little bit distraction free, but I also miss seeing certain friends and catching up and that kind of thing, and having Lauren there, so there were parts that I was like, man, I wish these people were here. But also it was just, I just felt so emotionally naked, in the sense where I got to just be. The enemy, I feel like a lot of times we as women or men, whatever, we're always striving to look our best or be our best. If you have a gym crush, right, you're doing your makeup, or you want to pick out your set, you're planning, you're just having to do all these things, versus God's just come to me as you are, sweatpants, sweatshirt, no makeup, no hair done, just be. And I felt for me at camp, you have a lot of responsibilities as a sports counselor, and honestly, I felt like sports was a little bit harder than counseling. But I think, when you're a youth counselor or kids counselor, you're really focused on the kids, which I still was focused a lot on the kids, but you're really focused on making sure all of them are okay and stuff like this. And I think this year I got to just kind of be that light and be that voice for my friend group, and also just soak in what God was doing, just be in the presence. No leadership tasks besides, obviously what we had to do for sports, but it's really nice just getting to be. What's going on, you guys? Cash Money Morgan here on the pod. We are at church camp. I just found some
homeless people,
crazy people. It is 2025. What are your thoughts camp this year?
I think it's amazing. No Jacob though. Tragic.
Crazy.
I have to agree. No Jensen as well.
I know, Jensen, please come back.
It doesn't feel the same this year.
It doesn't feel the same. It feels a little bit close, but not 100% the same.
Yeah. It feels empty.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, okay, well, what's a fun fact about y'all?
I have a 30-inch vertical.
Okay.
Say something else?
We're going to need to have some receipts on that to add into the clip,
I bench 225.
Alright,
so now we're just saying stuff.
No, we're just saying stuff. Oh. And talk about your journey.
I'm just here.
Nathan's just here.
Yeah.
I went 0 for 5 in water sports because my team sucks.
0 for 5?
Team does suck.
Are you the team that was like, we are defeated? We are defeated.
No, that's not my
you.
team.
Talk about it.
We had one team at Fusion Grams today that was a sweep. They won every single round, and I was like, wow, that is...
Yeah, we beat his team in Fusion Grams. His team sucks.
Anyways, what do you want the people to know? Gavin here does a little freestyle. Nathan here is like worship pastor king. Toby here. Toby's just out here.
I fly with the wind.
Comedy vibes. Letting his hair grow out. Same with Gavin too. A couple years ago.
Right now, though,
The buzz cut was crazy at camp.
buzz cut was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Generational.
listen to the pod. Any inspirational words?
Follow me on Instagram. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. No, don't
Cash
follow.
Money Morgan Pod is the way.
That's the way. Not the way to
merch.
Christian Alive. Yes. Buy some merch.
I don't know the website.
KeepingUpWithCash.com.
KeepingUpWithCash.com. Get some merch.
Yes. And live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh,
Live,
love.
laugh, love.
laugh, love,
Okay.
you know.
Bye. Bye. The day before I went to church camp, I went to my hometown church, and they had a guest speaker, and he actually prophesied over me. So they did this thing called like a prayer walk. Friendly check-in, friendly check-in. We're vibing. We're doing like a little prayer walk, and that's just kind of where he's going through. He's praying, he's prophesying over people. So he comes up to me and he prophesies over me, which I'm going to share this with you. I'm sure that's probably a vulnerable thing that maybe the internet lore, I don't know. I'm going to share it because that's what I feel called to do. So he comes over me, he's praying over me, and he's like, you have faith bold as a lion. You will travel to the nations and thousands will be saved because of you. And I'm like, what? That was just like, I'm hearing him say this and I'm like, what? And I don't know what God's doing. I have never known why God still had me in Springfield. I have never known why I'm still single. What is going on? God knows my dreams distinctly, and this is not it. But what I do know is my life is so good, and to live in Springfield, like, I think my job and my loft, like, I think I have the ideal life, and it's a blessing. And I think what we have to understand too is we have to kill off, like, it's such a weird thing, like, you have your desires and it's okay to dream, it's okay to ask God to dream, but then you have to like have this heart posture of being like, I'm surrendering this, even though I pray for it and I dream about it, I'm surrendering this because of how much I love you and I want your God dream and I want those to coincide. And that's like one of the hardest things for me to do, I think. But we were in my small group in my Loft Evo, and some girls from my gym that we met in the locker room, and I kept saying them one night, I was like, I struggle with this, like, why does God have me here? And she was like, Morgan, not to interrupt, but like, I'm here tonight because we met at the gym, I reconnected with God, and now I'm like leading in my faith because of our encounter. That like I'm here tonight in your small group because you're here, right? And stop discounting the little things. Like, the little things matter. Your daily habits matter. Your time in the Bible, you going to the gym, you getting enough protein, you working out, like getting enough sleep, like the little things matter, okay? And when she heard that, it was like clocked, right? Friendly check-in, clocked. Because I'm like, Morgan, you are so focused on the big things, on this big picture, that you're not thinking about the amazing little things you have. I have so many blessings of friends. I have so many people I can call, access to contacts. Like, just life is good. So I hear this huge testimony, like prophecy over me, and then I go to church camp. So I honestly haven't had time to process it. Like, that happened Sunday. We get to camp Monday. I haven't even processed it. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably gonna have time to process it at camp. I get there, I see all my amazing friends. Life is so good, vibes are up, and I just got to have so many meaningful conversations. Like, we talk about that in sales all the time. Like, it doesn't matter if you have 1,400 conversations. If none of them are meaningful, what's the point, right? And so just got to like really connect with a lot of people and just chat and learn about what they're going through. And the theme of camp this year was Raise the Standard, which is so good, right? Raise the standard of your life. Before, like back when I was partying, it was hard because I grew up with like great Christian friends, and like a lot of us, sometimes you go through seasons of temptation and you believe a lie, and the lie just starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't even know who this is right now. I'm not living in my calling and my purpose, and I'm ashamed. And where I'm going with this, where I'm landing the plane, is a lot of times we don't have big enough faith. We don't. Like, even in my small group, it's like, well, I haven't seen any Christian guys, so therefore there just aren't any. I don't know any people that are doing this, so therefore I'm not going to do it. I don't know people that live their life out fully to what the Bible says. And I'm guilty too, that like I believe that lie too, where I'm like, well, I don't know anyone else who's doing that. And the biggest question that someone challenged me with too is, it's like, well, are you putting yourself in an environment where you are going to meet those people? Like, if you're having a drink 4 nights out of the week and you're like, I just can't find any good Christian men, it's like, well, they're probably at a young adult or a coffee shop or at church or serving or at the gym or working. Like, they're probably not spending all their money on alcohol. Like, I'm not coming for that. I'm not coming for people that have a drink and that kind of thing. What I'm saying is, like, what are you investing your time and money into? Like, that is a big slap in the face to me, because like, the same thing with a relationship. Like, you're going to talk to the people you want to talk to. You're going to call the friends you want to call. You're going to hang out with people you want to hang to. And like, if you want to spend time with God, you're going to spend time with God. And friendly check-in. But essentially, that was just a big thing, because we have to analyze that. And so raising the standard, just having these big conversations where I'm like telling them, like, yo, it's been 1 year since I have quit listening to secular rap. Yes! Which is such a struggle. Go to my Instagram to see that video. But just having these conversations and like talking to these young men, young women, and I'm being like, oh, okay, like, are you dating like your partner? Like, are they a Christian? Oh, you have to drag them to church? Oh, like, they're not interested? Oh, like, no disrespect, because, everyone's on their own journey. You can plant a seed, but is this person going to save you in the lifeboat when you're down and you're depressed and then you need prayer? Is this person going to help you lift you up? Because if your partner's like that, like, you're thinking about like going into the war of life together, right? Is your partner suited up to help you when you're down, to lift you, to point you back to God? If not, end it. Because it's just not worth it. Like, the Bible just talks about, what God has put together. And if our purpose in life is to serve God and worship God, and the next relationship that you're closest with besides God isn't doing that, you got to ask God what he wants for your life. To me, like, if this person's not bringing you closer to God, I don't see how you can serve God to the best of your abilities. And that's just the journey. And I'm not like, everyone's on their own journey. We all have free will, but that is where, for me, I'm like, I want my man right next to me, like, we're both worshiping God, and we don't have to be the same personality type. We don't have to always have the same interests, but when it comes to the core things, we need to be aligned. And so raising the standard, calling out truth and encouraging people, like, come on, why settle for this? Don't settle like for a mediocre life, whatever it is. Like, trust God, bro. Like that old t-shirt the millennials love, like, trust God. Which is hard. But anyway, so camp was amazing. Just got to have so many meaningful conversations, and just loved being with like the girls in my cabin and my friends, and just having so much fun, and just such a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful for the pastors, Rusty and his wife, and just really opening about healing from trauma. And even in their story, they had a situation where they had both been, you can totally check out their story, but they both had been in a situation where they had experienced different assaults near this college campus. And now looking back, they've healed, like, God still heals their heart and all these things. And now they do ministry on that campus. So like, what the enemy meant for death, God is using for good. So anyways, church camp was so good. Just love to be in his presence and being home. And family was really good. I had a lot of cool conversations at the airport too. And we always say, like, with Haley McCormick, she was amazing. She came to our small group. Girl, I love you so much. She came to my small group, and essentially we had this great Devo, and something she added, she was like, Jesus was interruptible. Like, if we're so busy in our day-to-day and, you're stuck in traffic, or you're delayed at the airport, or something happens or whatever, he was interruptible, that someone could pull on his outfit or touch him or break up his day and ask to pray for them, and he allowed it to happen. And I think, like, when we ask ourselves in our busy schedule, like, are we being interruptible? Am I in a position where I'm being hateful in a moment where God's like, hey, I'm actually creating a space where I need you to pray for somebody. And so it's really challenged me in my faith of like taking all these moments and understanding, well, what am I called to do in this? And even the guest speaker had said something. He was like, if you want a word for somebody, like if you have a heart for evangelism like I do, and you have a word for somebody, or you want a word, like you feel led to pray for somebody, and you're like, he's like, ask God for a word for them. Like ask God to reveal things to you when you're praying to them. And even the other night, like I'm not trying to come like flex on myself or anything, because that's like not my intention whatsoever. Like I have no intention of doing any of that. I could just not share any stories. I don't care. But I do feel like God is like, tell people. Like I just have these like visions and ideas of like certain places God's highlighting to me of like, go pray for these people. And even the other night at the square, I just popped by for some live music, and there was these two women, and I just felt the Lord was like, go pray for this one. And we ended up talking, and they both were believers, and one of them had been 2 months drug free, and the other one was telling me that her friend who was 2 months drug free even literally died for 7 minutes, and then she was praying, and then she came back to life. So I don't know. I don't know the journey. I don't know what is what, but I was like, amen, sister. I mean, if this is like, that's what happened, that God is good, that's like, your faith is bold and strong, then amen. Even at our church Connect, like Pastor Peter's so good doing a sermon on having strong, bold faith. When we look at Abraham's life with Isaac, like he waited for so long, and even though they had a moment where they were impatient, and there was consequences and certain things that happened because of that, God still blessed them with the promise. And then we have this amazing gift, you have this amazing promise, and then God's like, surrender it all to me. Like, go look at the story of Abraham and Isaac and all of that. Let me check in. And so I think there's just a call to having stronger, bigger faith. Like, I remember we went to just so many things, like God healing me from a puking problem, me running out of money essentially 2 years ago, and God just like literally not making sense. Like I received money for this thing, and the amount didn't make sense. It was double what it was supposed to be. Like just certain miracles, like they happen all the time. Your healing, your miracle might not happen in the timeline you think it is, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. My puking problem was healed after 2 years, not after 2 months. And so just raise the standard of your life. Believe. God tells me, like, just hearing these prophecies, I don't know what his plan is. I don't even know sometimes what I'm supposed to do. What I know is I need to be diligent and obedient in the little things. So I need to lead my small group. I need to invite my friends to church, because 100% of my friends won't come if I don't invite them, right? People that don't know God. People don't go because you don't invite them to stuff. Being careful. Yeah, man. I mean, just like believe. Like if God has the best plan for my life, literally someone told me this the other day. She's like, if the wrong guy feels this good, imagine how amazing the right guy will feel. So instead of being in this moment of this depression, this sadness, feeling like, well, why doesn't it happen for me? I'm like, you know what? How blessed am I that I have a great job and a great family and a great loft and amazing friends, and God loves me as his daughter. Like, I think that's just the part that like has recently been making me so emotional, is like we can run away from him so much, and we can look so broken and sad, and he says, you are mine, and I will chase after you, and I will never stop loving you. And so like just seeing people, shout out my girl Serenity, like she came to church with us last Sunday, and just seeing the fruits of friendship, and getting, just seeing someone be like, God, you are so good, that you've been chatting with and building a friendship with. It just is amazing. So don't discount the little things. Don't discount what God is doing in your life, and have big, bold, crazy, ridiculous faith. I'm speaking to myself right now, because that is very challenging to do. And one thing that's really been sticking out, I listened to Emmy Moore's podcast in the gym today, because I'm trying to not doom scroll on social media. And I've definitely, I'm also not intaking certain reality shows that are trending. I'm not giving into Love Island. I'm not going to be watching certain shows. No. But I was listening to Emmy Moore's podcast, and it was one of her older ones, but she was basically talking about big faith as well. And she had brought up Daniel in the Bible, like literally being thrown into the lion's den, and God protecting him. And she said that when we have strong faith to the enemy, it's a threat. Like, you don't think about that. Like, prayer is something that is one of our biggest superpowers, right? I mean, like, the strongest thing that you can do is just pray and believe in God. And then when you have strong faith, it's a threat to the enemy because you believe and stand on truth. And can't handle that. So that's just like the call that God's really been putting on, is just believe God and have strong faith that he will do what he promises to us. He promises to protect us and comfort us and be there for us and love us. So whom shall I fear? That's what I was my Bible time, I believe it was this morning. There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of fear, and it's like, if God is above everything and is in control of everything, then whom shall you fear? And so just a lot of things, a lot of amazing things. But yeah, I'm just trying to think too of what else I kind of wanted to share. I just had a great time home with family. I love my dad's dog, Gracie. Like, I'm obsessed with her. I love her so much. And I think there's so many areas in all of our lives to be afraid and to question everything. But I think when we are so rooted in God, there's just so much peace, and there's so many blessings in this season. I think I pray a lot for my future husband and what it looks like for me to be a future wife. And I know that there's a big pruning process. There's a lot of healing that has to be done. There's a lot of things that God is breaking off and learning how to be slow. Because when we look at lust, when we look at things that are quick and fast and temporary, first of all, they're usually never as great. And it's honestly not really real authentic love, right? And we see what real authentic love is by modeling God's love. And so learning to be slow, learning to emotionally build, and all these things. And so it's a journey, and it's exciting to be on, and community is so important. So yeah, obviously I'm sure you can tell that I don't have any notes tonight because I'm rambling and there's like no structure. Let's see here. But yeah, Fusion, amazing year. I just love being around my friends that I've known for so long, and just having everything God's doing. But that's what I've really been hearing, is having massively strong faith, abiding in God, lifting one each other up, and raising the standard of your life. Right? For me, I'm actually not looking romantically right now. I mean, we are going to a Christian festival at the end of the summer, so I don't know if that's like, maybe I'll start looking then. But I just feel that I got into a position, maybe it's been like that for years, of just not like centering men, but somehow sometimes the line of happiness and men are like on the same plane, and learning to just be, content in being, and being content with God, and falling so in love with him. And I think like when you are like, I'm done looking right now, like I'm not looking, you're not looking, like you're not striving, you just get to be. You're not super concerned about who's going to be there and what should I wear. Like, I don't know, you just get to have so much more fun with it. And so that's kind of what my journey's been right now, is, of course, if a beautiful man of God like is in my life, or we meet and I feel peace about it, like, yeah, I'm definitely like get tacos or something. But right now that's where I've been at. And I was even praying with God one morning, and yeah, I mean, I think I'm like, God, when is my time going to come for all these different things I feel like I've prayed for? And I felt like the Lord told me, he was like, Morgan, you're not to be like you're special, but like, Morgan, like, you're called, and I created you like so intentionally, as as he did everyone else, but he's like, I have a special plan for you. What makes you think you wouldn't have a special person for you? And so instead of like believing in this lie of being, I'm behind, that somehow the world and society and literally everyone in the Midwest wants to put on me, I'm like, actually, I'm in God's timing, which is the perfect place to be. If God wants me to meet my man tomorrow at a gas station, I'm gonna meet him, right? Or whatever that looks like. Like, if I'm in God's will, if I'm obeying God, I'm on his timeline, I'm not gonna miss the blessing and the promises that he has. So start believing in God's promises. And I've really just been rocking with Proverbs 31, which I hadn't obviously hasn't mentioned I haven't released the previous episode, which I probably will. I mean, honestly, we're cooking this much. But it talks about having strength and dignity. And in that previous situation, I had a moment where I felt like I couldn't overcome, and I felt like if I gave into my flesh, I would have no dignity for what I was about to do. And then it says, a Proverbs 31 woman laughs without fear of the future. I'm thinking about getting that tattooed or something, because I feel like every single person ever is afraid of the future, or is nervous, or is unsure, and we're all going through something, our own journeys. And can you imagine the certain level of trust and peace to have, to literally laugh and be like, ha ha ha, like Bob Marley core, got no worries about a thing, every little thing is gonna be all right. I used to listen to that song all the time when I had anxiety every day. But yeah, that's how I'm trying to be, is so locked in, and like not worrying about yesterday or tomorrow, but just enjoying the day. And by doing that, it's just been so fun. Like, I think people are like, Morgan, you're honestly like having so much fun, and I am, because if I think about the future 5-year plan, I'm gonna freak out. I want to be wise and steward everything I have, wise with my money, wise with my actions, but then I'm going to live for the day, because we don't know when our last day is. Earth is temporary. You can't take your money, wealth, fame with you to heaven. So just soaking up whatever God has called me to do and being obedient in that. But yeah, I've had some visions recently, and just ideas of like God's put on my heart about certain places. I feel like in Springfield, He wants my friends and I to evangelize to, which is so cool to have created a culture and a friend group where they're like, I'm down to try. We're gonna pray and we're gonna worship, and then we're gonna ask God, like, reveal to us people in this place that you want us to pray for. Give us words. Like, we're just gonna bring an opportunity for the gospel in our city. And so yeah, God's not done with us yet. I mean, He's never done with us, but He's not done with Springfield. He's not done with my journey here. And yeah, so it is going to be a shorter pod tonight, just because it's getting a little bit darker. But couple things. I do have to give a shout out to this one kid at camp who said he was from Miami. I don't remember your name. Maybe it was John. But I told you I'd give you a shout out, so shout out to you, King. But I guess one thing I would say maybe like 5 pieces of advice if you are wanting to take that big, bold step in your faith. 1, your circle matters. If you do not have any Christian friends around you, then make them. Start a small group, start something at your school. A person gave me advice one time that was like, if you're busy and there's some things that you can't stop being busy with, invite people into your busy. If you have to get homework done, invite someone to go get it done with you. If you have to go to the gym, invite someone to the gym with you. Obviously not all the time, but if there's literally no other time in your schedule, invite people into the busyness, which has really worked out for me, because with traveling and whatnot, it's been cool to kind of just like invite people into that. And then 2, tithe. Definitely whatever God has given you. Even moments when I was bleak on money, I was like, I'm going to be faithful in my tithing, because truly God blesses and gives favor to people that serve and surrender. And then 3, I'm going to say, dream big, dream with God, surrender your dreams, but dream big, and allow Him to create. He's a creator. He's the creator of the universe, and He loves you so much. So write down your dreams. We created a vision board for sales this year, and we actually mark things down, and I see it every day, and a lot of them have come true, like in very similar ways. And so seeing it every day is a big thing. And then I don't even know where I'm at, but I do kind of want to wrap up. Just a couple last few things is, I listened to something too the other day. I just be listening, right? But I think the big picture is, I think someday you get older and you have maybe like really nice things, and you sit back and you're like, did I do everything that I wanted for my life? And did I do everything that God wanted for my life? And so when you're young, take risks. I feel like I want to be like, take spiritual risks. Like, don't be afraid what people are going to say. I was so afraid to go up to that lady and just be like, can I pray for you? But I'm so glad I did, because I don't know their journey, they don't know my journey, but what I do know is maybe they need to be encouraged. And so by getting to do that, I got to bless them, and they blessed me and helped strengthen my faith. So yeah. And then I would just say too, chase after the Lord. Like, sometimes people are like, well, I have a hard time reading my Bible. I have a hard time spending time with God. I hear you. It can be hard. So find what works for you. You know, I'm like, whether that's listening to sermons on a walk. I pray and talk to God all the time when I go on walks and like be in nature. When I'm surfing, when I'm swimming, skateboarding, you know, and then reading and like find the moment that works for you. You know, it's a relationship. You don't have to do it in this picture perfect way. Like, he wants to get to know you. He cares about you. He loves you. Yeah, so love you guys so much. We're going to wrap up here on the pod, a 30-minute episode tonight, because I'm obviously outside and I'm ready to be inside. But just a couple things. Quote, I don't really have any. Oh, you know what? I'm going to quote Emmy Moore, you know, in which she said, your faith is a threat to the enemy. It is a threat. So act like it, right? Like, it is bold and it is yours, your tool, your superpower. Walk in it. Song choice, man, I've been rocking Ups and Downs by Forrest Frank. I like it, man. It's so good, so good. Also, anything by The Upper Room on the recent album with Abby Gamboa. I think the song is I'm Here, or He's Here. Yeah, and I love how the songs are like from the Father's perspective. So good. And then quote, man, I say a lot of different quotes on the pod, but I'm ready for Springfield to all be surrounded by Jesus. Like, coming in hot, man. I want to be someone that, you know, I got to help be a part of your journey. I planted a seed, but either way, you felt the love of God. So I love you guys so much. You know, I want to do a little bit of a different pod tonight, different episodes, and bring different things. I'm praying about if I should drop my other episode as well. But that's basically the camp recap. Just so good. So many meaningful conversations. Just such great encounters with God. But I felt like it was just like building up and encouraging these friend groups to raise the standard of all of our lives and to build bigger faith and to trust God. So I hope you're encouraged. If you want any music playlists, if you want to connect or anything, if you feel encouraged by this podcast, please let me know. And if you also want to come with us to one of these evangelism nights, I would also love for you to be a part. Male and female. We're not just going to be female this time. But we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming up with Cash. Thank you so much for supporting me even through different seasons and transitions and like time stuff. And but I'm really excited about what God's doing in this next season. So love you guys so much. Bye.
We want to say a big thank you to all of our guests on today's show.
Live, laugh, love you guys. Bye. See ya. Ta-ta.
Content segments paid for by Harry Cooper Supply, Wild Animal Safari.
Are we supposed to start? Or?
I don't know, I'm waiting.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. I used to be a trap mix. So my arms are tan, but my face is white, but that's okay.
I don't know where that was
Because
going.
day to night,
Oh.
Ozark's live, you know how it be.
Ooh.
Like in me, Billy over thee.
Oh, over thee.
Over thee.
Hop off.
Ozark's live. That is the word. It is the vibe. Lots of birds.
Lots of birds. I'm like, honestly, the track is hot. Like, I think she should just take it.
Guys,
I'm
hey
like,
guys.
wow.
Ozark's vibe here.
Oh my
If
god.
you actually gave me like 10 minutes, I could cook something up real quick.
No, I know you could, because I believe you.